Hey guys, I'm Nate Sexton. Welcome to the Caddy Book presented by Innova. We are here at Fox Run in Vermont on the 18th hole. I picked this hole because in 6 short days, the world champion will be crowned here. I think it's an exciting par 4, big downhill drive. I'm gonna take you guys through my strategy on the hole. For the tee shot on this hole, I'm either gonna go with a Star Destroyer or a Star Excalibur, basically depending on the wind. If it's really windy, I think I'll go to the Excal. Anything less, my more overstable Destroyer. My play is gonna be to go out to the right here over this shrubby OB area, keeping in mind that the very worst miss I could possibly have is hanging it out to the right and only getting to advance to that post right there, probably taking at least a bogey or double bogey. What I really wanna do is fly out over that OB, swing left, find the center of the fairway. If I go OB left, that's even still sort of acceptable because it's very parable from there. I just cannot stay right and take that early OB, guaranteeing a big, big number. We've got a couple options here from the fairway. The first of them being a big hyzer with a distance driver out over the OB again, trying to reach the green. Personally, I don't like that one as much. Also, we have a very small gap. You could probably go with a fairway driver or a very hard thrown mid-range. Again, not really my cup of tea. You see I got my Sexton Firebird here. There's a big old forehand window, so that's the way I'm gonna go. Try to test that left side OB, swing the forehand out, and skip to the basket. Welcome to the 18th green here at Fox Run. You've got a little bit of a slope to the right, slope long, OB down there as well, so that could produce some tricky putts. Obviously, you can see it's slightly elevated. If we get any wind, that's gonna make this a very difficult birdie. But the real difficulty is just the fact that next Sunday, somebody's gonna leave here after making this putt as the world champion. And that is enough to get you a little nervous. And I love thinking about the fact that no matter what any of us do, one of us has to leave world champion. Somebody's got to win. Kind of makes my hair stand up just saying it. I hope it's going to be me, and that's why I threw this approach right here to 8 feet away so that I can make this putt nice and easy today and Sunday. That'll do it.
Hey guys, I'm Madison Walker and I'm out here at the Brewster Ridge Disc Golf Course. I picked hole 4 as my favorite because I feel like it really encompasses the signature holes on the front 9 of Brewster Ridge. We have the really nice grassy fairways and the super tight tree-lined edges that if you get off on either side, you really have to scramble to get back in the fairway. And that's what I like to do in disc golf. So I'm going to show you guys how I attack this hole. So off the tee, the first very major obvious problem is the large fairway tree in the middle. It forces you to pick either an anhyzer shot or a hyzer shot. I like to go with the hyzer even though it's not necessarily my natural shot. I like to throw my Champion Thunderbird and I aim right at the first line of trees that you want to be to the left of to set up for your second shot. So this next shot is a pretty tight gap. This is a par 4. And I play it as a par 4. I do not try to birdie it because of my first placement shot. I can't really get all the way to the green successfully with a shot that I have in my bag. So I like to throw my Thunderbird again, but this time I throw it forehand and like to put it on a full flex so it doesn't finish too far right, but it gives me a nice easy approach to the green. A little fun fact about the Brewster Ridge course is that there's some secret artwork on the edges of the fairway. That's another reason I like hole 4, because this guy right here kind of leaned up against the other ones. There's a bunch of different faces, a bunch of different mind frames. It makes it kind of magical. So another thing I really like about the Brewster Ridge course is the old rock wall structures that we have here. I'm kind of a sucker for beautification on courses. The approach to the green here is pretty short and simple. A lot of people would throw a jump putt, but I'm more of a forehand player and I like to throw my Pro Rhino, put it right under the basket so I have a tap in. So this is maybe not the most exciting putt, but here at Brewster Ridge, we have a lot of really guarded greens, a lot of trees inside the circle. So I'd like to put my Rhino always as close to the basket as possible so I don't have to do any crazy putting. Mission accomplished.
I'm Lisa Fajkus, and here we are on hole 5 at Fox Run Meadows. And I really like this hole because it's both downhill and a placement shot around those trees. You got OB on left and right, so my game plan is to send out a hyzer to the right side, be long of the trees, and hopefully open for a pitch up to the basket for maybe a long 2 or just an easy 3. So this is where my tee shot landed. If you get past the trees nice and wide and penetrate long, you get a nice open look at the basket. This is kind of the sweet spot to land in. Even with that though, my footing is a little bit tricky because I'm on a downhill slope. And I addressed my lie and kind of saw what I had here and decided to go with Innova for my putt. So I'm gonna mark my lie and give it a shot. I'm set up for a tap-in basically. You just want to be really careful with your approach, not to get too high in the air because you can potentially hyzer into the water and the OB rocks right here that come into the green a little bit. So I'm just gonna hole out right here for the par.
Hey everyone, I'm James Conrad. We're up here at Smugglers Notch in Vermont. I'm standing on hole 2's tee pad of the Brewster Ridge course. I chose this hole for a preview today because I think it really identifies with the nature of the course. It's a challenging par 4, not so much challenging because of the distance, but more because of the tight lines you have to hit, the side slopes, and a couple pinch points in the fairway. You got an uphill to work with, you got a left to right cross slope, and you got a pretty tight line with an even tighter gap up in the ideal landing zone. A shot might naturally want to hyzer out a little bit left, but that'll pinch you off and almost require a forehand second shot, so I'm trying to avoid that with a understable disc such as this Leopard 3 that may finish to the right for me. Okay, so this is where my tee shot landed. It turned over a bit, too much, caught one of these trees and kicked down. It didn't make it to the OB wall, so that's fortunate, but it's maybe 60 or 80 feet short of my ideal landing zone up in this clearing. From here I'll have to probably up to a mid-range, maybe even fairway driver instead of the putter that I'd love to throw on the second shot. Coming into this green, I was able to land on that side slope with a little hyzer, righty backhand that gave it a little bit of an Annie skip up towards the basket. I was able to get just inside the circle here for a chance at a nice birdie. I hope you all are as pumped for Worlds as I am, and thanks for tuning in to the Caddy book presented by Innova.